Okay, on face value, there's not a good comparison. The Apple is the better watch, and there are reviews to show that. But everyone reviewing these watches seem to be ignoring something. Yes, both these watches are similarly priced no matter where you are on this planet, at $399. Or more depending upon the region. However, at this price point, the Apple Watch loses its standalone calling functionality, which means you need a phone nearby to make the call, just like the Venu 2, but you can still talk through the watch because the watch has a mic. It's also an entire 5mm smaller, and its battery life is a few hours down on the larger Garmin Venu 2 as well. The smaller Venu 2S's price is the same, so unless you have smaller hands, the Venu 2 is the one to go for. So with that settled, when you compare them now at the same price level, both these watches do become a bit more closely matched. And thus, this video. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe. You can always unsubscribe later, so press that big red button before continuing. Okay, both don't actually have a lot of differences when you initially look at it, but the watches offer blood oxygen sensors, which are an essential in smartwatches now, as they help improve health tracking. Both have AMOLED displays with pretty much the same resolution. Both have GPS, and both have a whole host of fitness and health tracking apps, with the Apple a little bit more third-party-ish, but we'll get to that later. My favorite is the sleep tracker, which can track how well you sleep, but the Garmin goes a step ahead to include a breakdown of your sleep stages, like the REM sleep, and stuff like that. Whether it works is another issue that I will talk about at the end of this video, but the Garmin generally carries an advantage when it comes to general wellness of a human being. You have a whole host of factory set apps that can help with stress, breathing, and fitness. There are a bunch of animations for nearly 1,400 workouts you can do that you can tailor to your needs and fitness levels. A built-in sport app means you can specify the watch's sensor to adjust to the type of workout or sport you're doing, which now also includes HIIT workouts, giving you better accuracy. The Apple can match these with third-party apps, but experience can vary depending upon the app you downloaded, and Apple's own app costs extra, so that's that. I mean, you can find good apps in it, and if you have one of those shoes that can connect to your mobile, then you can also have it connected to your watch and stuff like that. There's some pretty good apps in the Apple Watch Store, well, the Apple Store for the watch. What the Apple loses out in wellness, it gains in well-being, with an industry-standard, FDA-approved ECG sensor to track the heart more effectively and notify of any abnormalities within the heart. The Garmin does not have the sensor to start with, and well, that feeling of missing out does continue with the Garmin. Apple's third-party app store is huge, especially considering the apps available for the watch, and has a whole host of apps that make better use of the sensors. You get better customization on the outside, even though limited if you stay within the $399 USD budget. And importantly, calling, texting, and paying is a whole lot easier than the Garmin. You also don't get any Alexa or Google Assistant support with the Garmin, making it less friendly towards people with disabilities, which Apple has. I'm not sure about Google Assistant, but it has Alexa for sure. But missing out at least means that the Garmin is going to get you the longer battery life mentioned at the start of this video. So this tit for tat between the two watches continues with every spec you look at. Altimeter, music space, storage, everything. However, the Apple holds a slight advantage in terms of usability at the end. This advantage grows when you go for the GPS plus cellular option, the large 44mm display, and better looking straps and cases. But so does the price. Which begs the question, at which point is it too much to pay? The Garmin Venu 2 already at $399 is considered expensive, or whatever the price is depending upon the region you're in. So for the Apple Watch Series 6, the base spec sits at $399, which means, well, for example, the one I would get in order to experience this watch at its best would be at $579 US, an entire $180 more for a fancy strap, larger case, and call functionality. $180 can get you the AirPods with the charging case, with the 20-watt power brick as well, so make of that what you will. So here is what I would suggest, and this is like nothing what other reviewers suggest when considering the right smartwatch to buy. If you're between the age of 18 to 28, the Garmin Venu 2 is pretty much all the smartwatch you need, cause the missing features are all pretty much in your iPhone. Or in the case of the ECG sensor, something you don't need at this age range. I mean, you're not doing ECGs at the age of 18 to 28, it's not necessary, in most cases. I will get to Android in a second. But the key reason I went for this age split is because of Garmin's advantage in terms of wellness and wellness. The 18 to 28 age bracket is a stress-filled mayhem where education, jobs, relationships, fitness, pretty much everything changes. Sleep schedules get thrown out the window and fitness becomes harder to maintain or gain. Now, I'm not saying the Venu 2 will simply solve this problem and just make everything easier, but its advanced sleep tracking, breathing tracking, body energy tracking, and stress tracking will help for sure, along with dozens of its fitness assistants. Psychologically, the watch will at least get you to attempt to improve your fitness. Well, statements not proved is just a theory of mine, just saying, because you're buying an expensive watch with all these apps you'll definitely try out, so just saying. If you're older though, get the nicer looking and nicer feeling $579 Apple Watch Series 6. It's just a bit better overall. If you're younger than 18, the Apple Watch is the choice again, but I would get the SE at $329 with the GPS plus cellular option. I mean, this is mainly because the family option with the Apple Watches means it'll be easier to contact your kids and track them, and you don't have to get them a phone, which, I mean, it'll improve their productivity by like a million times better than what they would do if they had a phone. Now for Android. Well, the Android connectivity with the Garmin will allow you to take the call from the watch, which you couldn't do with an iOS device. You still need to use the phone to speak, but with that sorted, there is an even smaller margin between the Venu 2 and probably the best Android option at this price point, which is the Samsung Galaxy Smartwatch 3. And that's also very expensive when you go for the larger sizes. And thus, it now falls down to pretty much preferences. The Garmin does have a high brand value in the smartwatch market. Like if you're not looking at the Apple, you're most likely going to look at the Garmin or the Fitbit, but that's for cheaper options. That's a different video. Anyways, the Galaxy, however, looks really good. I mean, if it's on your wrist, people will look at your wrist. So you choose. Hope that didn't confuse you, and remember, this is a buying guide, thus if you like what you see, I have links to full reviews on the description below. A hands-on comparison test that I can do myself would be great, especially to see if the features work. But with 69 subs, they ain't giving me a test piece. So boost that sub count if you're interested and want me to do a hands-on version. Would appreciate the support.